All praise to our Special Forces soldiers, the SAS, and to our RAAF, because they've managed to get out and fly out another 950 people in 5 flights from Afghanistan just yesterday, which makes more than 2,500 rescued in a week. The United States says it's now helped to get out 70,000 people in total since the Taliban took over, but the Taliban is now putting on the brakes for that. Its spokesman says foreign nationals can still leave the airport unhindered, it claims, but not Afghans, because Afghanistan cannot afford a brain drain.
Please don't encourage Afghans to leave. Don't encourage our engineers, our doctors, our military. We need them.
And this spokesman stressed that even the evacuation of foreign nationals is going to stop on August 31, as per its deal with the US. And that gives us just 6 more days to get anyone out.
موږ امریکایانو ته بیا پیغام ورکو چې خپل ټول اتباع په دغه وخت کې وباسي ځکه دوی سره امکانات شته الوتکې لري میدان هم ورسره ده باید دوی خپل ټول ځواکونه او ټول هغه کسان یا قراردادیان چې بهرنیو پر اړه لري هغه وباسي نور د افغانانو ایستلو موږ اجازه نه ورکو دې سره خوښ هم نه.
Now that deadline could make it very hard to get out some of the Afghan interpreters and the guards and others who helped us in there, including helped our soldiers in particular, and are still stuck in Afghanistan. I mean, some have had to stand whole days in sewage outside the airport gates trying to get in, trying to get to one of the flights. Others are too scared of the Taliban to even try. What can be done? Joining me is Glenn Kolomeitz, who served as an officer in Afghanistan and now is a lawyer representing hundreds of Afghans entitled to protection in Australia. Glenn Kolomeitz, thank you so much indeed for your time. I know you've been terribly busy. You've been in contact with Afghans in Kabul, trying to help them get out. Can they get through the checkpoints?
Andrew, we've got pretty good systems in place on the ground. We're actually getting our people to the gates in large numbers. We have a few hundred of our people at the gates now, and as you say, they've been there for in excess of 24 hours. The stoppage for our people has been getting through the gates and into the airport.
And who's causing that stoppage? What's the excuse? What's the issue?
But we've now had 2 attempts by 2 of our cohorts of embassy guards. They've approached the gates, the guards on the gates, and some of these guards are ADF troops. And they've shown their visas on their mobile phones, the electronic visas, and they were told, go away, you need a hard copy visa in with your passport. We tried that twice. Twice they've been turned away. They're still waiting outside the gates they are waiting outside the gates at this point in time. And disappointingly, frighteningly, one of those groups was fired upon by the Taliban after they were refused entry at the gate that DFAT told them to be at.
Glenn, this is absurd, isn't it? So go away and find a printer, and line up all day again in the sewage with a hard copy, and we might let you in. I don't know. Maybe there's a fraud issue, potential fraud issue. I don't know. Listen, can you tell me what sort of methods are you using to try to get through the Taliban? Are they stopping people at the moment? Do you have to go through different stratagems to get past them? Is there any issue there?
I won't disclose too much, but our embassy guards are very, very well coordinated and have been now for a long time by our humanitarian advocates, Kay Danes and Pat Ryan, who I believe you know. They have systems in place. They're getting the families to the gates, and it's taken a lot of effort and a lot of coordination, but they're getting them there. We have got a number of families through. We've got some 300 people through and out. So, this isn't all fatalistic, but having fought their way essentially to those locations and now having Taliban creeping around and taking pot shots at them, it's incredibly frustrating that they can't get inside the airport. And look, I'm not being critical of the ADF here, Andrew. They were told this by DFAT, and we got that from a senior ADF officer on the ground. They were told no hard copy visas, no entry to the terminal.
Wow. Now, Glenn, what I don't get, right now you've got, I read, now you may know better than me, that the Americans are managing to overcome some of these issues you're talking about in access through gates by choppering people that they want to rescue from a hotel 200 metres away. They just fly over that and land at the airport. Any chance of our people being able to do that?
Look, many of our people are still trapped, and they've made attempts to get to, whilst the guard cohorts are pretty good, they're pretty much in location. Many of our people haven't been able to get through the checkpoints and haven't been able to breach the traffic chaos. So they're still trapped away from the gates. And look, a helicopter operation would be ideal because we know exactly where all of our people are. We've told DFAT where all of our people are, given them locations and mobile phone numbers and photos of our people and all of their biodata. So some sort of operation with the US. And the US have been great to our people. The US got a lot of our earlier people out where they couldn't get on Australian flights. So why not somehow involve US rotary wing assets to get to our people? Right now, our guards are helping some very senior Afghan judicial people, clients of ours, to get to the gates. And a helicopter would be an ideal opportunity to get those people around that chaos and into that terminal.
Ben Kolomeitz, we've only got 6 days before the Taliban says that's it. You know, to be honest, they've surprised me. They have, by and large, honoured their agreements with the Americans to let people through. 6 days. How many people do we still need to get out?
Mate, we, as I say, we have 300 of our guards and interpreters out and another 100 miscellaneous people. So, look, I'm very grateful for those numbers, but we still have upwards of 1,000 people of our clients alone to get out, let alone many other people with entitlement to come to Australia. Mate, I'm holding out hope. I have to hold out hope, and my team has to hold out hope that we'll get all of our people through. But the clock is ticking, and it doesn't help when we have these bureaucratic obstacles put in our way to getting our people out.
I completely understand your frustration. Can I just ask you, and I hope you don't take offence to the question, what do you make of the Taliban's argument that I just played? They actually need talented Afghans to stay because they say their country can't afford the brain drain. I mean, to follow that argument, you're going to have to trust the Taliban not to be as brutal as it was all up to its history until about like yesterday. But what do you make of the argument?
Mate, there's a reason that we're trying to get senior judicial officers out. There's also a reason why we've been in touch with some Afghan Australian lady doctors here in our country now through various medical networks. They know firsthand that they need to get out, and they know firsthand that they can't stay there and practice their professions and in some cases survive in those environments, having done the work they've done to date. So that's the evidence, mate, is what these Afghan professionals are saying. The brain drain, they need to be out of there because the Taliban aren't going to use their skills as history has shown us.
That's probably a fair comment. Absolutely. Glenn Kolomeitz, I really admire the work you're doing. Thank you so much for your time.